Hey everyone, here's another example from section 3.2. In this problem they want us to solve the following equation by completing the square. So if I want to complete the square on this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in these blanks where I want to complete the square. So I'm going to plug in some number in here to help me get a perfect square trinomial here. And I'm going to also put a blank on this side because I'm going to add something to this side, so I need to add something to this side. I guess I could be subtracting, but either way I'm going to put the same number on each side so that it doesn't change my equation. So how do I get that number? Well, the middle number is b, and there's this thing where I take b over 2 and then I square it, and that should give me the number that I need to put on each side. So b is 2, so I'm going to have 2 over 2 squared, and then that's going to give me 1 squared, which is 1. So I'm going to add 1 to each side here. Now notice I could subtract 1 and I'd have the exact same equation, so I didn't actually change the equation. But with this, by adding 1 here, what this did is it made this trinomial able to be broken down into a perfect square. So I can break this down now to x and x, and if I look here, I need to add each of these terms to add to be the middle, and each of them to multiply to be 1. Well, I divided by 2 up here and gave me this number 1. This is a really important number. That's always going to be the number, this number right here, is always going to be the number that I throw in there. And I can check this. 1 times x is 1x, 1 times x is 1x, and 1x and 1x would give me the 2x. And then 1 times 1 would also give me 1 there. So this trinomial is the same as these two binomials. So let's finish writing that out. And this time I'm going to take 0 plus 1, I'm going to get 1. So now I'm going to write this as a square, so that's x plus 1 squared minus 5 equals 1. Add the 5 over, and I get x plus 1 squared equals 6. And now I'm going to square root each side. Now when I square root each side, that's obviously going to cancel my square, so I'm just left with x plus 1. But on this side I'm going to get plus or minus the square root of 6. Square root of each side. So then all I have to do is subtract the 1 over. So that's going to be x equals negative 1 plus or minus square root of 6. And then I can now say x is going to equal, and I like to split this up. So negative 1 plus square root of 6, or x is going to equal negative 1 minus the square root of 6. And that's what they're going to expect you to put into as for answers on your online My Math Lab.